bombshell nobody saw coming. What if I told you that the player LeBron James personally helped build the underdog Lakers fans embrace like family could soon be walking into crypto.com arena wearing a Brooklyn Nets jersey? Because right now, that's no longer just internet gossip. It's becoming a very real possibility. For 5 years, Austin Reaves has been one of LeBron James' most trusted teammates. He wasn't supposed to become this. He wasn't drafted. He wasn't hyped as a future superstar. He wasn't the next big thing. He was just a kid trying to survive. And somehow, against every expectation, he became one of the most important pieces of the Lakers' future. But now, that future is hanging by a thread. Reports around the league suggest that the Brooklyn Nets are preparing to pursue Reaves aggressively with a staggering 4-year deal worth nearly $178.5 million, a number so massive that it sent shockwaves through Lakers Nation overnight. This isn't just another free agency rumor. This isn't some role player looking for a paycheck. This is Austin Reaves, the guy who earned LeBron's trust, the guy Lakers fans watched grow from an overlooked two-way contract into a player capable of delivering when the lights were brightest. And now another franchise is standing at the door saying something impossible to ignore. Come to Brooklyn. Be our star. Be our franchise player. Build your own legacy. Suddenly, one question has taken over every sports show, every comment section, every Lakers discussion across America. What does LeBron James think about all of this? Because behind the contracts and salary cap numbers lies something much deeper. A friendship, a bond forged through 5 NBA seasons, a veteran who guided a rookie through chaos, a young player who never forgot who believed in him first. But in the NBA, loyalty and business rarely move in the same direction. And for Austin Reaves, the biggest decision of his life may finally be here. Will he remain loyal to the Lakers family that raised him, or will he choose the opportunity to become the face of an entirely new franchise? The answer could reshape the future of 2 organizations and possibly mark the end of one of the NBA's most unexpected partnerships. Before we dive deeper, I want to hear from all of you. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city and country in the comments below and answer this question honestly. If you were Austin Reaves, what would you do? Press 1 if you'd stay with the Lakers. Press 2 if you'd take Brooklyn's offer and become the man. If you're enjoying this story and want more NBA drama, breaking news, and behind-the-scenes stories every single week, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notification. Because trust me, what happens next gets even crazier, from undrafted to untouchable. Austin Reaves was never supposed to be in this conversation. Not like this. Not with teams preparing massive offers. Not with executives calling him one of the most important free agents on the market. Not with the Lakers facing the possibility of losing a player they once found almost by accident. When Reaves first arrived in Los Angeles, he wasn't treated like a future franchise piece. He was an undrafted guard from Arkansas who had to fight for every minute, every shot, every ounce of respect. Most players in that position disappear before fans even learn their names. But Reaves stayed. He listened. He adapted. And most importantly, he earned trust in a locker room where trust is not given easily. Playing next to LeBron James is not simple. Every mistake becomes louder. Every possession matters more. Every decision is judged by millions of people. But Reaves didn't shrink from that pressure. He grew inside it. At first, he was the young guy asking questions. Then he became the player LeBron looked for in big moments. Then he became the guard the Lakers trusted to handle the ball, make the right read, hit the open shot, and keep the offense alive when chaos started to build. That is why Brooklyn's interest feels so dangerous for Los Angeles, because this is not about losing a replaceable piece. This is about losing a player who became part of the Lakers' identity. Reaves has improved year after year. His scoring jumped, his confidence grew, his role expanded, and by the time the league finally looked up, the same kid nobody drafted had become a player worth nearly $180 million. That kind of rise changes everything. It changes how the Lakers value him. It changes how rival teams view him. And it changes how Reaves must view himself. Because once a team like Brooklyn says, "We don't just want you, we want to build around you," a player has to listen. For years, Reaves was part of LeBron's world. Now, for the first time, he has a chance to create his own. And that is where this story becomes more than basketball. Because sometimes the hardest thing for a player is not proving he belongs. It is deciding where he truly belongs. The LeBron factor. The reason this story has exploded is not just because Austin Reaves may leave the Lakers. It's because of who he may be leaving behind. LeBron James was not just another teammate in Reaves' career. He was the veteran who helped him understand the game at NBA speed. He was the superstar who trusted him before the rest of the league fully understood his value. He was the voice in his ear when the pressure got heavy. That matters. In Los Angeles, Reaves did not simply become better because he got minutes. He became better because he was constantly learning next to one of the smartest basketball minds the sport has ever seen. LeBron taught him where to stand, when to cut, when to attack, when to slow the game down, and maybe most importantly, LeBron gave him confidence. For a young player, that kind of trust can change an entire career. One missed shot can break some players, but when LeBron tells you to keep your head up, when he still believes in the next shot, when he treats you like you belong on the floor with legends, that does something to your mindset. That is why Reaves' bond with LeBron feels real. It was built in practices, film rooms, playoff games, and quiet moments nobody saw. It was built through mistakes and corrections. It was built through pressure, but now that bond is being tested by the business of the NBA. Because LeBron's future is uncertain, he could return. He could retire. He could decide the next chapter of his career belongs somewhere else. And that puts Reaves in a difficult position. How do you commit the next 5 years of your life to the Lakers when the player who shaped your NBA journey may not be there much longer? That is the question Brooklyn is quietly using against Los Angeles. The Nets can offer clarity. The Lakers can offer history. Brooklyn can say, this team is yours. The Lakers can say, remember what we built. And somewhere in the middle stands Austin Reaves, caught between gratitude and ambition. That is what makes this decision so painful, because leaving Los Angeles would not just mean changing jerseys, it would mean stepping out of LeBron's shadow forever. Brooklyn's dangerous pitch. Brooklyn is not just chasing Austin Reaves because he can score. They are chasing him because he represents a new beginning. After the collapse of the Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving era, the Nets have been searching for a new identity. They need a face. They need a leader. They need someone who can bring excitement back to the franchise without carrying the baggage of the past. Austin Reaves fits that idea perfectly. He is not a loud superstar. He is not a drama machine. He is not a player surrounded by constant controversy. He is a worker, a competitor, a player who built his name the hard way. And for Brooklyn, that is powerful. The pitch is simple but dangerous. Come to New York, take the money, take the keys. Become the player Lakers fans always believed you could be, but do it as the number one option. That is something Los Angeles cannot easily offer. With LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers' massive expectations, Reaves may always have to fit into someone else's system. He may be loved in Los Angeles, but love does not always equal control. He may be respected, but respect does not always mean the offense runs through you. In Brooklyn, everything could change. He could become the first name on the scouting report, the player with the ball late in games. The jersey fans buy because he represents the future. That is not a small thing. For a player who spent years proving he was more than an undrafted success story, the chance to become a franchise centerpiece is almost impossible to ignore. And the Nets know it. They have cap space, they have motivation, they have a market big enough to turn Reaves into a national storyline overnight. This is not just a contract offer. It is a status upgrade. It is Brooklyn saying, the Lakers made you important, we can make you the main event. That is why Los Angeles should be nerfed, because money can be matched. Years can be negotiated. But the feeling of finally being chosen as the guy, that is much harder to fight. Why the Lakers cannot let him walk. For the Lakers, losing Austin Reaves would be more than a painful exit. It could become a disaster. Because Reaves is not just another guard on the roster. He is one of the few players who connects everything together. He can score without needing the entire offense built around him. He can create when the play breaks down. He can play next to stars without disappearing. He understands spacing, timing, and pressure. That kind of player is extremely hard to replace, especially for a Lakers team already dealing with uncertainty. LeBron's future is unclear. Luka's health and long-term role are major parts of the plan. The Western Conference is getting younger, faster, and deeper. And the Lakers cannot afford to lose a player who already understands what it takes to survive under the brightest lights in basketball. That is the part Brooklyn cannot fully copy. Reaves has already been tested in Los Angeles. He has already played through the noise. He has already handled the pressure of being judged by one of the most demanding fan bases in sports. Some players arrive in LA and shrink. Reaves became bigger. That is why the Lakers front office knows this decision could define their next era. If they keep him, they preserve a core piece who can bridge the present and the future. If they lose him, they may spend years trying to replace the exact thing they already had. And here is the harsh truth. The Lakers can offer more years. They can offer familiarity, they can offer legacy, but they cannot offer certainty unless LeBron's future becomes clear. That is where the danger lives. Because if Reaves feels the Lakers are entering an unstable chapter, Brooklyn's pitch becomes even stronger. A young star wants direction. He wants belief. He wants to know the organization has a plan built around him, not just around memories of what once worked. So now the Lakers must do more than pay him. They must convince him. They must show him that staying in Los Angeles is not just the loyal choice. It is the smart choice. Because if they fail, the next time Austin Reaves walks into the arena, Lakers fans may not be cheering for him. They may be watching him break their hearts. The moment everything changed, there was a time when Austin Reaves genuinely thought his Lakers journey might already be over. Long before Brooklyn's massive offer became a headline, long before executives across the league started attaching superstar money to his name, Reaves had his own fears about whether Los Angeles truly saw him as part of its future. Trade rumors swirled. His name surfaced in discussions. Every day brought another report connecting the Lakers to a bigger star. And Reaves understood how the NBA worked. No matter how hard you play, no matter how loyal you are, sometimes business wins. He later admitted that after declining an extension, there was a period when he believed there was a real chance he would be traded. Imagine carrying that weight, walking into practice, laughing with teammates, preparing for games, while secretly wondering if tomorrow you might have to pack your bags. For many players, that uncertainty destroys confidence. For Reaves, it became fuel. Instead of shrinking, he elevated his game. Instead of demanding answers, he focused on improving. He scored more, created more, took bigger shots, accepted bigger responsibilities, and eventually, the Lakers stopped viewing him as a pleasant surprise. They started viewing him as essential. Ironically, the fear of being unwanted may have transformed him into one of the most wanted players in basketball. Now, the same player who once worried about being traded is holding all the leverage. He gets to choose. He gets to decide what his future looks like. And for perhaps the first time in his career, the entire NBA is waiting for Austin Reaves to make the next move. Because this isn't just about survival anymore. It's about destiny, the decision that could change everything. At its core, this story comes down to one impossible question. What matters more? Loyalty or opportunity? Stay in Los Angeles. And Reaves remains part of one of basketball's most iconic organizations. He continues wearing purple and gold. He keeps building on relationships that help shape him. He stays connected to fans who embraced him before the rest of the world understood what he could become. He potentially gets another run alongside LeBron, another run with Luka, another chance to chase a championship. But leave, and an entirely different future opens. In Brooklyn, there are no established legends standing ahead of him. No waiting his turn. No existing hierarchy. He becomes the centerpiece, the franchise player, the face on the billboard, the leader expected to define a new era. For competitors, opportunities like that don't come often, especially not for undrafted players. This decision will reveal how Reaves sees himself. Does he view himself as an elite complementary star capable of helping great players win titles? Or does he believe he's ready to become the player others follow? Neither answer is wrong. Both paths require courage. Both come with sacrifice. One risks regret. The other risks leaving behind everything familiar. And somewhere behind closed doors, Reaves is probably asking himself the same thing. Millions of fans are debating online. If you've spent your entire career proving people underestimated you, how do you know when it's finally time to bet on yourself? The future of LeBron James. Hovering over this entire Austin Reaves situation is one massive question that nobody in Los Angeles can escape. What is LeBron James going to do? Because Reaves' future and LeBron's future are now tied together in a way that makes this free agency story far more complicated than a simple contract decision. If LeBron returns to the Lakers, everything changes. The organization can walk into negotiations with a clear message. They can tell Reaves that the story is not finished. They can tell him that last season was not the end, only a painful interruption. They can point to injuries, timing, chemistry, and missed opportunities. They can say, run it back, give this group one more chance. And that pitch mattered. Because Reaves does not just respect LeBron, he owes a major part of his confidence to him. From the moment Reaves entered the league, LeBron helped him survive the pressure of Los Angeles. He corrected him during games. He trusted him in big moments. He treated him like someone who belonged before the entire league was ready to say it out loud. That kind of bond is not easy to walk away from. But the problem for the Lakers is simple. LeBron is not 28. LeBron is not entering the beginning of his prime. He is standing near the final chapters of one of the greatest careers basketball has ever seen. And when a player reaches that point, every decision becomes unpredictable. He could return for another season. He could decide his body has given enough. He could look at the roster and believe the championship window is closing. Or he could shock the basketball world with a move nobody saw coming. That uncertainty puts Reaves in a difficult place. Because how can he commit the next 5 years of his life to a future that may change overnight? If LeBron comes back, staying in Los Angeles feels emotional, logical, and powerful. Reaves would continue beside the man who helped shape his NBA identity. He would still play for one of the biggest brands in sports. He would still have a chance to chase something meaningful in purple and gold. But if LeBron leaves, the picture becomes completely different. Suddenly, Reaves is no longer choosing between loyalty and ambition. He is choosing between uncertainty and clarity. And Brooklyn knows that. The Nets do not need to attack the Lakers publicly. They do not need to create drama. All they have to do is wait while the questions in Los Angeles get louder. Will LeBron return? Will Luka be fully healthy? Will the Lakers still be contenders? Will Reaves remain a core piece? Or will he eventually become trade bait again if the front office gets desperate? Those questions are dangerous because doubt spreads quietly. It starts as one thought, then it becomes a conversation. Then it becomes a serious possibility. And once a player starts imagining himself somewhere else, everything changes. That is why LeBron's decision may quietly become the most important part of Reaves' decision. Not because LeBron controls him, but because LeBron represents the emotional foundation of everything Reaves built in Los Angeles. Without LeBron, the Lakers' pitch loses part of its soul. Brooklyn's pitch, on the other hand, becomes cleaner. No waiting, no guessing, no living inside another superstar's timeline. Just a fresh start, a huge contract, and a franchise willing to hand him the keys. That is what makes this moment so tense. One legend is deciding how his story ends. One former underdog is deciding how his story begins. And the Lakers are stuck in the middle, hoping the bond they built over 5 years is strong enough to survive the business side of the NBA. The NBA's cruel reality. Sports fans love loyalty. They love the idea of one player staying with one team, fighting through hard seasons, building something real, and finishing the story where it started. But the NBA does not always reward stories like that. The NBA rewards leverage. It rewards timing. It rewards front offices that move before emotions slow them down. And right now, Austin Reaves has something he never had before: power. For most of his career, Reaves had to prove himself. He had to prove he was not just an undrafted feel-good story. He had to prove he could survive next to superstars. He had to prove he could handle playoff pressure. He had to prove he was not just a nice piece, but a serious player. Now the proof is everywhere. The numbers are there. The improvement is there. The trust from LeBron is there. The interest from other teams is there. And most importantly, the money is there. That is why this situation is so dangerous for the Lakers. They are not negotiating with a desperate player. They're negotiating with a player who knows he has options. Brooklyn wants him. Other teams are watching. Executives believe he could command star-level money. And the Lakers can no longer treat him like the same young guard they once discovered on the edge of the roster. He has outgrown that version of himself. The cruel part is that nobody in this story has to be wrong. Reaves would not be wrong for staying. The Lakers would not be wrong for fighting to keep him. Brooklyn would not be wrong for offering him the role of a lifetime. And Reaves would not be wrong for listening. That is what makes this drama feel real. There is no obvious villain. There is no easy answer. There is only a player standing at the center of two futures. In Los Angeles, he has history. He has LeBron. He has the fan. He has the jersey that turned him from unknown into unforgettable. But in Brooklyn, he has something different. He has the chance to become the main character. Not the trusted teammate, not the third option, not the guy praised for fitting perfectly beside bigger names. The guy. That phrase matters because every competitor has an ego, even the quiet one. Every player wants to know how far he can go when the offense belongs to him, when the franchise believes in him, when the final shot is designed for him, not given to him because someone else was double-teamed. Brooklyn is offering Reaves that question. Los Angeles is offering him continuity. And between those two offers sits the truth of professional sports. Feelings matter, but contracts change lives. Memories matter, but opportunity can change a career. Fans may ask Reaves to be loyal, but fans do not have to live with the regret if he turns down the one chance to lead his own team. That is why this decision could follow him forever. If he stays and the Lakers win, he becomes a beloved part of another great LA chapter. If he stays and the Lakers collapse, people will ask if he should have gone to Brooklyn when he had the chance. If he leaves and becomes a star, the Nets look brilliant. If he leaves and struggles as the main option, critics will say he was better as a supporting piece next to greatness. Every path carries risk. Every choice has a price. And that is the reality Austin Reaves is facing now. Years ago, nobody called his name on draft night. Now the entire league is waiting for his answer. Los Angeles gave him the platform. LeBron gave him belief. Brooklyn may give him the keys. And when free agency arrives, Reaves will have to decide which gift matters most. The final choice, in the end, Austin Reaves' decision will not be judged only by dollar. It will be judged by vision. Does he believe his best future is still in Los Angeles, standing beside LeBron James, wearing the jersey that turned him from an undrafted unknown into one of the most respected guards in the league? Or does he believe the next version of his career can only happen somewhere new? That is the real question, because the Lakers can offer legacy. They can offer history, they can offer the bright lights, the fans, the memories, and the chance to continue what he already started. But Brooklyn can offer a different kind of dream, a team built around him, a new city, a fresh identity, a chance to prove that he is not just a great supporting piece, but a true leader. And maybe that is the lesson in this entire story. In sports, Growth often comes with uncomfortable choices. The people who helped you rise may not always be the people standing beside you in the next chapter. That does not erase the bond. It does not erase the respect. It simply means life moves forward. LeBron gave Reaves confidence. The Lakers gave him opportunity. But now, Reaves has earned the right to choose his own future. Whatever happens next, fans should remember one thing. This is not betrayal. This is business. This is ambition. This is a player who fought from the bottom and finally reached the moment every overlooked athlete dreams about. And whether he stays in Los Angeles or starts over in Brooklyn, Austin Reaves has already proven something powerful. You do not need to be drafted to become valuable. You do not need to be hyped to become respected. And you do not need the world to believe in you at first, as long as you keep building until they have no choice. So now I want to hear from you. Press 1 if Austin Reaves should stay loyal to the Lakers. Press 2 if he should leave for Brooklyn and become the main guy. If you enjoyed this NBA story, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share this video with another basketball fan, and turn on notifications for more breaking NBA drama, player stories, and franchise-shaking updates.